It is well past dark, and you have been walking since sunrise. Your feet are ruined. The road behind you is black and empty, and somewhere out in that blackness, things move. Then you see it, a low building, a smear of yellow light in a window, smoke leaking from the roof. You do not know who is inside. You go in anyway, because out here, the alternative is worse. For most of human history, to travel was to gamble with your life. No streetlights, no police, no phone in your pocket, just you, the dark, and the very real chance of robbers, wolves, or freezing in a ditch. So along the world's great roads, a kind of lifeline appeared, a place to stop, a roadside inn. But what actually happened once you stepped through that door? It is stranger and far more crowded than you might think. First, your animal. If you arrived on a horse or a mule, it mattered more than you did. A stable boy takes the reins. The animal is fed, watered, and rubbed down, because tomorrow, your life depends on it. Then you duck inside, into the common room, and the first thing that hits you is the noise and the smell. Wood smoke, spilled ale, wet wool, and underneath it all, whatever is bubbling in the pot over the fire. This single room is the beating heart of the inn. No lobby, no reception desk, no key card. There's the innkeeper, watching the door, sizing you up. Can you pay? Are you trouble? You find a spot on a bench at a long shared table, shoulder to shoulder with people you have never met. You do not order from a menu. You eat whatever the inn is cooking that night, and you are grateful for it. Usually, that means coarse bread, a thick pottage of beans or grain, maybe a little salted meat, and ale. A lot of ale. Why so much ale? Because the water could kill you. Weak beer was often the safest thing to drink. You eat with your hands and your own knife. The stranger beside you might share your bowl. And here's the part we have almost completely forgotten. The inn was the internet. Before newspapers reached ordinary people, news traveled by mouth, from road to road, inn to inn. A merchant brings word of a war in the south. A pilgrim describes a city you will never see. Prices, rumors, the death of a king, where the bandits are working this season. You drink it all in with your beer. Deals are struck, letters are passed to travelers heading the right way. Marriages are even arranged. The Roadside Inn was a news service, a post office, and a social network, all crammed into one smoky room. There was entertainment too, though you made most of it yourselves. Songs, dice, card games, once cards existed. A traveling musician might play for his supper. Geoffrey Chaucer built a masterpiece on this idea. The Canterbury Tales begins at a real inn, with pilgrims swapping stories to pass the miles. Eventually, it is time to sleep. And this is where modern travelers tend to flinch. Privacy, as you understand it, did not exist. You very likely shared a bed. Not with your family, with strangers. 2, 3, sometimes more bodies crammed under one blanket. It was so normal that there were unwritten rules. Keep to your side. Do not steal the covers. Try not to have cold feet. If you were rich, you got a private room. If you were poor, you slept on the floor, on straw near the fire. But an inn full of exhausted strangers and their money was, of course, a hunting ground. Theft was constant. You slept with your purse tied to your body or tucked under your head, and you trusted no one. Some inns were worse than the road. There are old, grim stories of innkeepers who robbed, or worse, guests who never checked out. And then there were the smaller predators. Fleas, lice, bedbugs. You did not sleep alone, in more ways than one. Now, this was not just a European story. The same need produced the same answer all over the world. Along the Silk Road, travelers stopped at Caravanserais, grand fortified inns built around a central courtyard. Camels and goods filled the ground floor. Merchants slept in small rooms above, safe behind thick walls, often staying for free. The Romans had it down to a system. Official way stations called mansiones lined their roads, about a day's journey apart. There were rougher places too, the cauponae, Roman roadside taverns with such a bad reputation that respectable Romans avoided them. Centuries later, in Britain, the inn reached its golden age, the coaching inn. As stagecoaches raced between cities, grand inns appeared along the routes, built around courtyards where coaches clattered in. Fresh horses were swapped in minutes. Passengers gulped a hurried meal, warmed their hands, and were gone. These inns had names and signs you would still recognize. The Red Lion, the George, the Bell. Many are still pouring drinks today. And then, almost overnight, the whole world changed. The railway arrived. Trains did not need to stop every few miles to change horses. The great coaching roads fell silent. Many proud old inns withered. Others adapted and slowly turned into something we know very well, the hotel. Clean private rooms, A locked door, a key that is yours alone, comfort and blessed total privacy. But look at what we traded away. We gained the locked door, and we lost the shared table. For thousands of years, a roadside inn forced you to sit with a stranger, share their bread, hear their story, and sleep beside them. It was crowded and dirty and sometimes dangerous, but it was also profoundly, unavoidably human. So the next time you close a hotel door behind you, alone, and slide the latch, listen for a moment. Somewhere under that silence is the ghost of a louder room, a fire, a shared bowl, and a stranger just starting to tell you their story.